Introduction: Mastering the Two Systems of Your Mind for Better Decision-Making. Hello, friends. For years, I've dedicated my life to understanding what makes us tick, why we make the choices we do, and how we can become the best versions of ourselves. In my many articles and workshops, I've always emphasized the power of the human mind. Now, I'm thrilled to share with you a journey into the very heart of that power, your mind's two systems. This book, Mastering the Two Systems of Your Mind for Better Decision-Making, is not just another self-help book filled with empty promises. It's a practical guide, a roadmap to understanding the often unseen forces that shape your thoughts, feelings, and ultimately, your life. Think of your mind as having two distinct yet interconnected systems. System 1, the quick thinker. This is your intuitive, emotional, and automatic system. It operates fast, without much conscious effort. Imagine you are walking down the street and suddenly a ball rolls in front of you. You instantaneously dodge it without thinking. That is System 1 at work. It's responsible for gut reactions, quick judgments, and ingrained habits. It's the system that helps you read someone's facial expression or instantly know the answer to 2 plus 2. System 2, the careful thinker. This is your rational, analytical, and deliberate system. It's slower, requires effort, and is responsible for complex thinking. Picture yourself trying to solve a difficult puzzle or learning a new language. That's System 2 kicking in. It's the system that helps you weigh pros and cons, plan for the future, and make reasoned decisions. The truth is, both systems are incredibly valuable, but they often work in ways we don't realize. System 1, while quick and efficient, can be prone to biases and errors. System 2, while capable of deep thinking, can be lazy and easily fatigued. When we don't understand how these systems interact, we can fall victim to poor judgment, emotional reactivity, and missed opportunities. This book aims to change that. It's about unveiling the hidden dynamics of your mind and learning how to harness the strengths of both systems. This is not about becoming a perfectly rational being. That's neither desirable nor possible. It's about becoming more aware, more mindful, and more strategic in your thinking. What will you gain from reading Mastering the Two Systems of Your Mind for Better Decision-Making? Improved decision-making. Learn to identify situations where your intuition might lead you astray, and when to engage your analytical mind for clearer thinking. Reduced bias. Discover common cognitive biases that cloud your judgment and develop strategies to mitigate their influence. Enhanced emotional intelligence. Understand how your emotions influence your thinking and develop healthier ways to manage those emotions. Increased productivity. Learn how to optimize your mental energy by leveraging the strengths of each system and avoiding cognitive overload. Stronger relationships. Gain insights into how other people think and make decisions, leading to better communication and empathy. Greater self-awareness. Develop a deeper understanding of your own mental processes, allowing you to leverage your strengths and overcome your weaknesses. More fulfilling life. By making better decisions and understanding yourself better, you will pave the way to a more rewarding and meaningful life. Throughout this book, we'll explore real-life examples, practical exercises, and actionable strategies that you can implement immediately. I'll guide you step by step, making complex ideas accessible and relatable. This is not just a theoretical exercise. It is an invitation to embark on a journey of self-discovery and personal transformation. Get ready to unlock the full potential of your mind and become the master of your own destiny. Let's dive in! All right, champion. Are you ready to unleash the incredible power locked within your own mind? I'm talking about a power that can transform your decisions, your relationships, and your entire life. Get ready to meet the crew working 24/7 inside your head. Chapter 1. Welcome to your mind. Meeting the two systems. For years, I thought I was just me, one single unified person. But guess what? The truth is far more fascinating, and understanding it can change everything. You are not one. You're a team. A team of two incredible systems, working together, or sometimes against each other, to navigate the chaos of life. Let's call them System 1 and System 2. Think of System 1 as the Usain Bolt of your brain. It's fast, intuitive, and emotional. It's the gut feeling that tells you a room feels unsafe, the surge of joy when you see a loved one, or the instant reflex that makes you swerve to avoid a pothole. It operates automatically, without any conscious effort. It's your default setting, your instinct, your autopilot. Imagine you're walking down the street, and you see a dog barking loudly. System 1 instantly registers the potential threat and prepares you to react. Boom! Done! System 2, on the other hand, is the Sherlock Holmes of your mind. It's slow, rational, and deliberate. It's the part of you that wrestles with complex problems, analyzes data, and makes calculated decisions. It requires effort, concentration, and a whole lot of brain power. It's the part that helps you solve a math equation, plan a budget, or learn a new language. Let's say someone asked you a question like, what is 23 multiplied by 47? System 2 would then get to work. These two systems talk to each other all day long. System 1 offers quick suggestions and impressions, while System 2 evaluates them and sometimes corrects them. Most of the time, System 1's quick and dirty way works well. However, it is only by understanding these systems that you can improve your thinking and your life. Throughout this book, we'll dive deep with concrete steps you can take to boost your performance by training your mental skills for System 1 and System 2. Isn't that exciting? Absolutely. Let's get started in this exciting journey to mastering our minds. Let's go! Okay, friend, get ready, because we're about to dive deep into the fascinating world of your mind. And I'm not talking about just skimming the surface. We're going full-on exploratory expedition. Let's get started with Chapter 2. Chapter 2, System 1, the Speedy Storyteller. All right, imagine this. You're walking down the street, and suddenly a ball comes flying at your head. What do? Do you pull out a notepad, calculate the trajectory, angle of impact, wind resistance? No way. You duck. That, my friend, is System 1 in action. System 1 is the fast, automatic, intuitive part of your brain. It's like your brain's own personal superhero, always on the lookout, ready to react in a split second. Think of it as the gut feeling generator. It's honed through experiences and evolution to prioritize our immediate safety and survival. This system loves shortcuts. It uses things called heuristics, mental rules of thumb that help us make quick judgments. Ever judge a book by its cover? That's System 1 using a heuristic. It's efficient, but it's not always accurate. Here's a simple example. I ask you, is Tom a shy hard worker? You are meeting Tom for the first time. You will probably be inclined more towards he is, because your brain will relate shy and hard worker. But probably Tom will be a loud hard worker. That is a brain shortcut. System 1 is also heavily influenced by emotions. See a scary image? Instant fear response. Hear good news? Instant joy. These emotional reactions are incredibly powerful, and they often drive our immediate behavior before we even have a chance to think about it. Now, this speediness has its downsides. Because it's so quick, System 1 is prone to biases, systematic errors in thinking. It can jump to conclusions, create stories to fill in the gaps, and lean on stereotypes. Remember, System 1 is a storyteller. It makes things up. It loves a good narrative, even if that narrative isn't entirely true, thus creating biases. Think of a child thinking there is a monster under his bed. He has never seen one, but the story is already created. System 1 forms impressions instantly. It's the reason you might decide if you like someone within seconds of meeting them. It's a powerful force, influencing everything from our buying habits to our voting decisions. Are you ready to tame it? Let's do it. All right, champion, buckle up. Now that we've met the whirlwind that is System 1, get ready to meet its sidekick, the deliberate, the thoughtful, the... Chapter 3, System 2, the Diligent Detective. System 2 is the part of your mind that rolls up its sleeves and works. It's your inner detective, the one who puts on their thinking cap, grabs a magnifying glass, and meticulously examines the evidence. System 2 is all about critical thinking, problem-solving, and making carefully considered choices. Think of it like this. Imagine you are trying to solve a complex mathematical equation. You can't just glance at it and feel the answer, right? You need to sit down, break it down, apply the rules, and painstakingly work through each step. That's System 2 in action. Or picture yourself planning a cross-country road trip. Do you just hop in the car and drive? No way! You pore over maps, research routes, calculate distances, and estimate expenses. System 2 at its finest. The key thing to remember about System 2 is this. It takes effort. It's not automatic like System 1. It requires you to focus your attention, concentrate your mental energy, and consciously engage in the thinking process. This is why you can't do two really complicated things at once. Trying to solve that equation while driving in rush hour? Forget about it. Your brain will prioritize, and usually that means shoving System 2 back into the corner. Now here's the rub. Because System 2 is so demanding, it's easily fatigued. Think about being at the end of a long workday. Your brain feels fried, right? That's System 2 saying, "Uncle, I need a break." When System 2 is tired, it's much more likely to surrender control to System 1. And that's when we're prone to making impulsive decisions, falling for silly mistakes, and generally not thinking things through very well. Consider reading a contract for a new job after a long day, and your brain won't be able to process it in a meaningful way. So what can you do to keep your diligent detective sharp? First, recognize that System 2 needs rest and recovery. Embrace planned breaks throughout your day, like taking a walk outside to give your brain rest. Second, prioritize tasks requiring System 2 for when you are most alert. That complicated presentation? Tackle it first thing in the morning, instead of trying to force it at the end of a long day. You've got the power to harness System 2 and unlock your potential, so get out there, champ, and make your mind work for the goals that you have. All right, friend, let's tackle something super important. Bias blindness. Buckle up, because this is where we truly start understanding why we're not always as logical as we think we are. Chapter 4, Bias Blindness, Why We're All Unreasonable. Sometimes. Listen, you're amazing, intelligent, and capable, but guess what? We all have biases. It's part of being human. Bias blindness is the sneaky belief that we are less susceptible to these mental errors than everyone else. "Oh, I make objective decisions," we tell ourselves. Nope, we're all in the same boat. Understanding this is the first huge step. So what are these biases anyway? Think of them as mental shortcuts our brains take to make sense of the world quickly. Sometimes they work great, other times, not so much. Here are a few big players. Confirmation bias. This is a big one. It's our tendency to seek out, interpret, and remember information that confirms our existing beliefs. Imagine you think a new restaurant is bad. You'll subconsciously notice every mistake the waiters make, overlook any delicious dish, and actively search for negative reviews online. See how it works? We find what we're looking for, even if it's not entirely true. Anchoring bias. The first piece of information we receive often acts as an anchor that influences subsequent decisions, even if it's irrelevant. For example, if you are negotiating the price of a car, the initial price offered by the seller heavily influences your perception, even if you knew that it is overpriced. Availability heuristic. This is when we overestimate the likelihood of events that are easily recalled, often due to their vividness or recent occurrence. See reports of a plane crash, and suddenly you're terrified to fly, even though driving is statistically far more dangerous. Recent and dramatic events skew our perceptions. These biases cloud our judgment. They lead us to make poor decisions in all areas of our lives, from our finances to our relationships. And the worst part, we often don't even realize it. We truly believe we're being rational, weighing all the facts. Spotting your biases. Take action. So how do we fight this? The first step is awareness. We need to actively look for our own biases. Challenge your assumptions. When you strongly believe something, actively seek out information that contradicts your belief. It will be uncomfortable, but it's crucial. Consider alternative perspectives. Before making a decision, ask others for their opinions, especially those who disagree with you. Look at the data. Don't rely on gut feelings alone. Seek out data and statistics to inform your decisions. The journey to overcoming bias blindness isn't easy. It's an ongoing process of self-awareness and critical thinking. But it's a journey worth taking. Because when we see our blind spots, we see the world a whole lot clearer. And that, my friend, is empowering. Now go out there and challenge your assumptions. You've got this! All right, champion, let's dive headfirst into the fascinating world of Chapter 5, The Frame Game, How Words Shape Reality. Ever feel like you're being subtly nudged in a particular direction, even when you think you're making a completely rational decision? Buckle up, because you probably are. That's the power of framing at play. Framing is simply how information is presented to you, and it has a huge impact on the choices you make. Think of it like this. You're offered a plate of cookies. Option A. These cookies are 90% fat-free. Option B. These cookies contain 10% fat. Which one sounds more appealing? Chances are option A wins. Even though they're saying the exact same thing, the positive spin, 90% fat-free, feels much better than focusing on the negative 10% fat. That, my friend, is the frame game in action. It's not about the facts themselves, but how those facts are presented. Another example. Your doctor says you need a surgery. Frame A. There is a 90% survival rate from this surgery. Frame B. There is a 10% chance of death from this surgery. These statements are the same. However, most people feel and react differently based on the context of the statement. Here's another relatable scenario. Imagine a store is having a sale. A sign says, "Save $20" versus 20% off. Depending on the original price of the item, one might feel like a better deal, even if mathematically they're identical. We're emotional beings, and framing exploits those emotions to sway us. The takeaway? Being aware of framing is crucial. Don't just take information at face value. Dig a little deeper. Ask yourself, how else could this be presented? What are they not telling me? By challenging the frame, you empower yourself to make truly informed decisions aligned with your goals, not merely influenced by someone else's spin. Now go out there and take control of your decisions. All right, champion. Let's dive headfirst into Chapter 6, Overconfidence Trap. Why we think we know more than we do. Remember, read this like I'm right there with you, pumping you up for success. Listen, you're amazing. You've got skills. You've got talents. You're a force to be reckoned with. But here's a secret. A tricky little gremlin that messes with even the best of us. Overconfidence. It's that feeling, that nagging voice inside that whispers, "I got this, no problem, easy peasy." And sometimes, that's true, but other times, it's a recipe for disaster. Overconfidence is when we think we know way more than we actually do. We overestimate our abilities, downplay the risks, and waltz into situations completely unprepared. Think of it like this. It's like thinking you can easily navigate a jungle armed with a spoon when you actually need a machete and a guide. The jungle, life, has a funny way of revealing the limits of our spoon-handling skills, our abilities. Why does this happen? It often comes down to the illusion of control. We want to believe we're in charge, that we can predict and control everything around us. It's comforting. But reality is messy and unpredictable. Stuff happens that we can't foresee. Think about this. Ever started a project at work thinking, "I'll knock this out in a day," only to find out 3 days later, mired in complications, that you were incredibly wrong? That's the overconfidence trap snapping shut. You underestimated the scope, the challenges, the unexpected hiccups. The antidote to overconfidence? Humility. Embrace the fact that you don't know everything. No one does. Recognize the limits of your knowledge and abilities. Ask questions, seek advice, be willing to admit when you're wrong. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, of someone who is eager to learn and be better. Before making a big decision, ask yourself, what could go wrong? What am I not considering? Talk to people who might have different perspectives. Do your research. Be honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses. Recognizing you are not the end-all be-all increases your ability to make sound, wise decisions in life. This isn't about crippling self-doubt. It's about balanced self-awareness. You're capable, talented, and intelligent, but you're also human. And embracing that humanity is how you avoid the overconfidence trap and unlock your true potential. Now go out there and conquer, but do it with open eyes and a humble heart. You got this. All right, champion. Let's dive headfirst into Chapter 7, The Power of Prediction, Navigating Uncertainty. Listen up, because the future isn't written in stone. We're not fortune tellers, but our brains think they are. We're constantly trying to predict what's coming next. Why? Because it makes us feel safe, feel in control. But here's the kicker. Our predictions are often dead wrong. Think about it. How many times have you been absolutely sure something was going to happen, only for it to completely flop? Did you feel like a genius then? Our gut feelings are often just System 1. Remember him? making rapid, impulsive guesses based on limited information. Imagine this. You're starting a new business. You're buzzing with excitement. You feel in your bones this is going to be huge. Your gut is screaming, success! But hold on a second, Tiger. That's System 1, riding the wave of enthusiasm. Before you cash in your life savings, engage System 2. Ask yourself, what's the actual market research? Who is my competition? What are the statistical probabilities of success in this industry? Ignoring the cold, hard facts and betting everything on a feeling is inviting disaster. This is where considering probabilities and data comes in. It's not about being pessimistic. It's about being realistic. It's about using System 2's power to analyze and assess the situation instead of just relying on System 1's often faulty intuition. Predictions aren't about having superpowers, it is about putting in the work to research and analyze. When you can do that, you can make better choices with a clear vision of how to make your prediction come true. Embrace the uncertainty, my friend. Acknowledge that you don't have all the answers. But by combining your intuition with data, analysis, and a dash of courage, you can navigate the unpredictable waters of the future with skill and confidence. You got this. Alright, champion, let's dive into Chapter 8, Emotional Intelligence, bridging the gap between feeling and thinking. Listen up. We often hear, don't be emotional, be logical. But guess what? Emotions are hardwired into how we make decisions. They're not the enemy. They're valuable data points. Ignoring them is like driving with a blindfold on. Emotional intelligence, EQ, is all about recognizing, understanding, and managing your own emotions and those of others. Think of it as having a supercharged emotional GPS. Ever made a rash decision when you were angry? Like quitting a job after a fight with your boss? That's unchecked emotion hijacking your logic. Consider Mike. He gets constructive criticism at work. System 1 screams, they're attacking me. They hate my work. He feels defensive. A low EQ Mike would lash out, argue, and damage relationships. But a high EQ Mike? He recognizes the feeling, takes a breath, and chooses to engage System 2. He asks, what specific improvements are they suggesting? How can I learn from this? He transforms a potentially disastrous situation into an opportunity for growth. Bam! So how do we boost our EQ? Here's the kicker. 1. Self-awareness is key. Start noticing your emotions. What physical sensations accompany anger? Sadness? Joy? Keep a journal. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why? 2. Emotional regulation. Can't control all your feelings, but you can control your reaction. Deep breaths, stepping away, reframing the situation. Find what works for you. 3. Empathy is essential. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Try to understand their perspective, even if you disagree. It's not about agreeing, it's about understanding. 4. Social skills, effective communication is everything. Learn to actively listen, express yourself clearly and respectfully, and manage conflict constructively. Emotional intelligence isn't some fluffy buzzword. It's a powerful tool. Mastering it will improve your relationships, boost your career, and make you a more resilient, successful, and authentic human being. Now go out there and start feeling and thinking your way to greatness. Alright, champion, let's unlock the power of mindfulness. Chapter 9, Mindfulness Matters, Training Your Attention. Listen up, because this is where you grab the reins of your mind. You know how sometimes you just react? Someone cuts you off in traffic and bam, you're fuming. That's System 1 in overdrive, the speedy storyteller whipping you into a frenzy. Now we want to give System 2, our diligent detective, more breathing room to analyze situations. And mindfulness is the key. Mindfulness is simply paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, and without judgment. It's like a mental workout for your focus muscle. Think of it as building a bridge between your impulsive gut reactions, System 1, and your thoughtful reasoned self, System 2. How does it work? When you're mindful, you acknowledge your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. Imagine a thought bubble floating across your mind. You see it, note it. Oh, I'm worried about that presentation, and then let it float on by. No need to grab onto it and spin a whole negative story. Simple mindfulness exercises. You can start right now. The breath awareness. Find a quiet spot. Close your eyes if you like. Focus solely on your breath. Notice the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently guide your attention back to your breath. Do this for just 5 minutes. Body scan. Lie down or sit comfortably. Bring your awareness to your toes. Pay attention to any sensations: tingling, warmth, pressure. Slowly move your attention up your body, one body part at a time. No judgment, just observation. Mindful eating. Pick a snack, a piece of fruit, a handful of nuts. Before you eat, really look at it. Notice the colors, the texture. Smell it. Then, take a small bite and savor the taste. Chew slowly and deliberately. Pay attention to the sensations in your mouth. Stop when you feel yourself rushing or getting distracted. The rewards? Huge! Regular mindful practice isn't some fluffy, feel-good exercise. It rewires your brain. Enhanced focus. You become less easily distracted. Reduced stress. You build resilience to cope with challenging situations. Improved decision quality. You're less likely to make impulsive choices based on fear or anger. Better emotional regulation. You learn to observe and manage your emotions without being controlled by them. Remember, it's a practice. You won't be perfect overnight. Just start small, be patient with yourself, and keep at it. It is that simple. The more you train your attention, the stronger the bridge between your System 1 and System 2 will become. All right, now go and embrace the present and train your attention. You got this! All right, champion, let's unleash the power within you and dive into Chapter 10, The Art of Asking Questions, Challenging Your Assumptions. Listen up. You're equipped with the most powerful tool imaginable, your mind. But a powerful tool used poorly? That's a problem. This chapter is about sharpening that tool, making you a master questioner, a destroyer of limiting assumptions, and a champion of diverse perspectives. Think of your assumptions as walls. They protect you, or maybe they trap you. They keep you safe, or maybe they keep you stuck. Asking questions is the wrecking ball you need to break down the walls that no longer serve you. Think about it. How often do you truly question why you believe something? Is it based on fact, experience, or just something you've always accepted? If you've never questioned it, it's a belief someone else installed in your operating system. Are you really okay with that? Let's say a colleague, let's call him David, consistently arrives late to meetings. Automatically, you might assume he's disrespectful, lazy, or disorganized. That's your assumption speaking. But what if David has a child with a medical condition requiring morning appointments? What if his commute suffers from unexpected delays? Suddenly, the picture shifts. The key is clarifying questions. Here's a simple framework. What else might be true here? This opens your mind to possibilities. What's the evidence that supports this assumption? Often there isn't much. What's the opposite point of view? Force yourself to consider it. If my assumption is wrong, what are the consequences? Scary, right? Now let's talk about listening, active listening, folks. This isn't just hearing, it's understanding. When you ask David why he's late, don't mentally prepare your lecture. Truly listen to understand his reality. Ask follow-up questions. Can you tell me more about that? How does that impact your morning? Genuine curiosity transforms conversations. Remember, challenging assumptions also means seeking diverse perspectives. Don't just surround yourself with people who agree with you. Find those who challenge you, who see the world differently. Start small. Next time you find yourself judging a situation or person, pause. Ask yourself, what assumptions am I making? And then unleash the power of questions. This isn't just about making better decisions in boardrooms. It's about building stronger relationships, fostering understanding, and ultimately, living a more enriched and authentic life. Go forth, ask boldly, listen intently, and watch as the world unfolds before you. Your assumptions, once limiting, become opportunities. You got this. Okay, buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into something revolutionary. Chapter 11, Decision Hygiene, Building Better Habits for Better Choices. How often do you feel drained after a day packed with decisions, big or small, choosing what to eat, what to wear, what to say? They all take a toll. That's decision fatigue, folks, and it's real. When your mental energy is low, your decisions suffer. You become impulsive, avoidant, or simply settle for whatever's easiest. Sounds familiar? Don't panic. We're about to become decision-making ninjas. This chapter is your guide to developing decision hygiene. a fancy term for keeping your decision-making process squeaky clean and functioning at its best. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You do it every day, hopefully, to maintain oral health. Decision hygiene is the same principle, applied to your mind. So how do we achieve decision hygiene? 1. Reduce decision fatigue. Streamline the small stuff. Ever see those super successful people wearing variations of the same outfit? That's no accident. They're saving mental energy for what truly matters. Lay out your clothes the night before, meal prep, create templates for common emails, automate the autopilot. 2. Gather relevant information. Don't dive into a decision without all the facts, but don't drown yourself in information overload either. Define what you need to know before you start researching, and stick to reliable sources. Use a simple checklist. What are the pros, what are the cons, and what is the worst-case scenario? Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. 3. Avoiding decision-making traps. Watch out for the usual suspects. Confirmation bias. Seeking only information that confirms what you already believe. Anchoring bias. Relying too heavily on one piece of information, even if irrelevant. And groupthink. Going along with the crowd to avoid conflict can all lead you astray. How do you fight these biases? Actively seek out dissenting opinions, look for disconfirming evidence, and create an environment where others feel safe to speak up. Ask for honest feedback. Decision hygiene isn't a one-time fix. It's a continuous process, a set of habits that you cultivate over time. And trust me, the rewards are immense. Less stress, better choices, and more mental bandwidth to focus on what truly matters to you. So, go out there and make those amazing decisions. All right, my friends, get ready to unlock the power of influence. This is Chapter 12, and it's all about influence and persuasion, understanding how others decide. Think of it this way, building bridges, not walls. We're diving deep, not to control, but to connect genuinely. Remember those two systems? They're vital here. System 1, the speedy storyteller, loves shortcuts. It's swayed by emotion, repetition, and things that just feel right. So, if you're trying to convince someone quickly, tap into those feelings. Use vivid language, paint a picture, and make it personal. System 2, the diligent detective, is the thinker. It needs logic, data, and a clear argument. If you're dealing with a System 2 person, be prepared with facts, evidence, and reasoned explanations. Appeal to their sense of logic. Influence isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding. Use the reciprocity trick. Do something nice for someone, and they're more likely to return the favor. It's human nature. Now, the social proof concept. People often do what they see others doing. Highlight testimonials and success stories. People like to follow the crowd. Let's talk authority. Be credible. Demonstrate your expertise and build trust. People listen to those they believe know what they're talking about. And scarcity. Make things seem limited. Limited time offer. Why do you think it works? Because it triggers the fear of missing out. But remember, ethics always come first. Dishonest tricks are just that, tricks. They might work short-term, but they destroy trust and relationships in the long run. Build solid relationships through open and honest communication. Finally, active listening. Genuinely listen to understand their motivations. Empathy is the key. This isn't about pushing your agenda, it's about finding common ground. It is about communicating the why rather than the what. So, go out there, connect, and influence positively. These points will help you build amazing relationships for you. You've got this! Alright, champion, let's dive into Chapter 13, Managing Conflict. Navigating disagreements with clarity and calm. Listen up, everyone clashes sometimes, right? Your brain tells you, I'm right, they're wrong. System 1 is screaming about unfairness. But successful people? They don't let System 1 run the whole show. They take charge. They lead. Conflict, believe it or not, is an opportunity. Opportunity to understand someone else. To find a solution better than you initially imagined. The first thing, breathe. Seriously, when tempers flare, your body pumps adrenaline. Breath helps. Then, listen. Really listen. Don't plan your rebuttal while the other person is speaking. Try to understand their perspective. Imagine your friend, let's call him Alex, is arguing with his neighbor about a tree. Alex sees a safety hazard. They want the shade. Instead of yelling, "It's dangerous," Alex could try, "I understand you value the shade. Maybe we can discuss ways to make things safer and keep some shade." Next, focus on the problem, not the person. Use I statements. Instead of saying, "You're always inconsiderate," try, "I felt unheard when." It diffuses the blame and helps the other person hear you. Finding common ground is key. What do you both agree on? Maybe both Alex and his neighbor value a nice neighborhood. Start there. We want a safe, beautiful community, so how do we find a compromise about the tree? And finally, remember that de-escalation starts with you. Stay calm. It's incredibly hard when you're frustrated, but it makes all the difference. If you feel your blood boiling, take a break. There's no shame in saying, "I need a few minutes to cool down. Let's talk again later." It's about managing your responses, not suppressing your feelings. Your feelings are valid. Conflict isn't a war, it's a puzzle. Approach it with curiosity, empathy, and a willingness to find a solution together. All right, champion, let's hit that fast forward button and zoom into the future. We're diving into long-term thinking, how to make decisions today that create the awesome tomorrow you deserve. Chapter 14, Long-Term Thinking, Making Decisions for a Better Future. Look, life isn't a sprint. It's a marathon with unexpected detours, hills that feel like mountains, and the occasional ice cream stand. To run it well, you gotta plan your pace. Long-term thinking is simply that, planning your marathon. Forget instant gratification for a moment. That new gadget might be cool right now, but will it matter in 5 years? Will those late-night TV binges bring you closer to your goals? Probably not, right? Long-term thinking is about shifting from what feels good now to what creates the future I want. It's about connecting your present actions to your future happiness, success, and fulfillment. How do we do it? First, define your values. What's truly important to you? Family, learning, making a difference, financial security? Write it down. These values are your North Star, guiding your decisions. Next, consider the consequences. Every action has a ripple effect. Before leaping, ask yourself, what's the impact on me in the long run? Will this choice support my health, career, and personal growth? How will this affect my relationships? Will it strengthen bonds or create distance? What's the bigger picture? Is this choice aligned with my values and contributing to a better world, even in a small way? Let's say Mark is offered a higher-paying job, but it requires him to work 80 hours a week and never see his kids. Short-term, he'll have more money. Long-term, he could damage his relationships and burn himself out. Does the money outweigh the cost? That's where his values come in. If family is a top priority, he might reconsider, even if the money is tempting. It's also about having a purpose, that deeper why that motivates you. When you face tough choices, that purpose will give you strength to make the right decisions that might not be easy. Don't be afraid to dream big. The future is unwritten. Develop that long-term vision and work accordingly. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. You will stumble. The key is to learn, adjust, and keep moving forward with your eyes on the horizon. Now go out there and build something amazing that you'll be proud of for years to come. You've got this! I believe in you. Believe in yourself. All right, champion, we've reached the final chapter, but this isn't the end. It's the beginning of your real work. Chapter 15, The Ongoing Journey, Mastering Your Mind for a Lifetime. Listen up, because understanding your brain isn't a one-time fix. Mastering System 1 and System 2, that's a lifelong pursuit. Remember all those concepts we covered? From recognizing your biases with that blindness to framing and questioning everything, they aren't just theories in a book. They're tools. Tools you need to keep sharp. Here's the deal. You've now got the blueprint. You know System 1, that speedy storyteller, whispering its gut feelings and snap judgments. You've met System 2, the diligent detective, ready to analyze and break things down, but sometimes needing a serious kick in the pants to get going. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming aware. Aware of when your System 1 is hijacking the conversation, pushing you towards rash decisions based on emotion. Aware of when you're falling into the overconfidence trap, thinking you know more than you truly do. aware of how easily you can be influenced by the way something is presented. The key? Practice. Consciously challenge your assumptions every single day. When you feel that strong gut reaction, pause. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Is it based on facts, or is it a shortcut my System 1 is taking? Use the questions to find the areas of blind spot within you. And practice your decision hygiene by creating a checklist to review before making important call. Mastering your mind is an ongoing journey. There will be days when System 1 wins. Days when you slip up. Don't beat yourself up. Learn from it. Analyze it. And start again, stronger and more aware tomorrow. Read, learn, and engage with others who are on their own journey to sharpen your System 2 capabilities. The world is complex. It changes, and so will you. Keep refining. Keep questioning. Keep growing. This isn't just about making better decisions, it's about building a better life. A life lived with purpose, clarity, and conscious choice. So go out there, be the champion your brain deserves, and make today amazing.